Welcome to today's daily report market analysis video with me, Richard Perry, market analyst at Hantec, on Wednesday the 4th of September. There has been an improvement in market risk appetite over the past 12 hours or so, and that's come on the back of a couple of things really. There's this improvement that we saw on the Chinese Asian services PMI overnight, which was better than expected, and certainly showed a bit of an uptick in in the outlook for the China services sector, and has helped to improve risk broadly. Really, you've seen an improvement in the Chinese yuan on the back of that, which generally tends to be dollar negative and also risk positive. We've seen the yen falling away a slightly amount, and also we've seen gold, which is about $10 lower now. We've seen a slight uptick in treasury yields as well, so all this playing into the risk positive angle as well. And look at this, equity markets, strong move higher on US futures, unwinding all of yesterday's losses on the futures today, and that's helping European markets strongly higher. The other factor that's helped to improve sentiment is that the prospect of a no-deal Brexit is still teetering on the brink, really, in the fact that we had Parliament, UK Parliament, moving against the government yesterday, taking control of the order paper, and they're now going to be voting on a bill today which would put a no-deal Brexit into the long grass again, and extending the Article 50 deadline once more beyond 31st of October. So that is today, that is being voted on in Parliament. So subsequently we're seeing sterling higher, and that is helping to reduce the risk appetite, the risk of political uncertainty, certainly in the UK. Now the other factor is that is a drag on FTSE 100, because when sterling is positive, FTSE tends to underperform, and that is again what we're seeing today. Now, in terms of data points today, as I said, the services PMI data was important, certainly for China. Also, you saw a slight uptick in Europe on the final data, slight uptick in the the Eurozone services final PMI, which helped the composite PMI improve. In the last few minutes, we've just had out the UK services PMI, actually slightly missing on the downside, but to be honest, they're so focused now on how Parliament deals with Brexit. I don't think that's really going to touch the sides too much, in the fact that the market is going to be focused on this vote later on today. But a slight miss on UK services PMI doesn't really help UK economy, but Brexit in Parliament is all important. This afternoon we haven't got the US ISM data for the services, or the non-manufacturing PMI, because we've had that Labour Day public holiday on Monday. That data is tomorrow now. But you do have international trade at 1:30, expected to improve slightly on the trade deficit to 53.5. But you can see here on the trade balance, it doesn't really do a great deal to improve the continued deterioration of the trend. But that is at 1:30. Now, my chart of the day is DAX. Now, as I said, equities have jumped higher today, and that really has improved the outlook on the DAX. But the outlook on the DAX was already improving on the breach of 11,845, which was a neckline resistance of this base pattern. And you can see that's a very strong configuration of a head and shoulders base pattern. Really does suggest an upside target of 12,425. So another 400 ticks away from where we are at the moment. We've had yesterday's pullback towards the neckline, finding support just above that neckline, 11,869. And it really does look as though the market is on the way. Look at this improvement in momentum indicators, strong improvement in RSI to the 57. Really does need to move above 60 to suggest the bulls are in the driving seat sustainably. You've got MACD lines which also need to push above neutral, but the stochastics are looking pretty strong, and we've seen a run of of buying into weakness, higher lows, and the outlook is really on an improving scale now. Here we can see the next resistance coming in around 12,100 to 12,200 area. This old low here, and then the again another breakdown of a neckline of a head and shoulders top around 12,200. So that's resistance overhead really. You can see on the hourly chart the improvement that we've got. 12,173 was that on the hourly chart absolute low. But it certainly is an improving outlook on the hourly chart. You can see momentum indicators just crossing back higher on a bull cross above neutral on the MACD, hourly MACD, stochastics rising strongly, RSI finding lows in the mid 40s and pushing towards 70, so that's all positively set up to buy into weakness. You do have an opening gap up from 11,957 today, and also the basis of support around sort of 11,995, 12,000 really effectively, but we are still seeing some positive moves, and I think buying into weakness on the DAX now as this run higher continues. So with that in mind, I wish you good luck in your trading. Click here to subscribe to our videos on YouTube, but also go to our website where you can join up for our webinars. Thank you.